All right, we have a new Dear DSO submission on the website, and you can submit your own story or question to deardso.com. That's deardso.com. Yes, finally, we got a domain after all these years of doing this. So check it out, deardso.com. And if you submit your story, you fill out the form, and if it's a good one, I will create a video for the whole world here to see. And this one comes from La Travieta. Ooh, exotic. It's a woman. And the subject line is, woman wants sex, just not with husband. She says, I just watched your video about how women want sex, just not with her husband. To clarify for those that didn't see that, it wasn't like a blanket statement saying all women want sex, just not with their husband. It was a response to a guy who reached out to me, emailed me, and said his wife said those exact words out of her mouth. She said, I do want sex. It's just not with you, buddy. It was hurtful. So she's responding to that. She says, I am one of those wives, and I wish I could convey my story, which I'm guessing would be echoed with other women. Isn't that what you're doing? You're conveying your story? Okay. I'm married with a now open relationship, and the experience with the person I'm in the relationship with is so extremely different. Oh, so the boyfriend or the extra person outside of the marriage. So extremely different. Well, I hope so, duh. Unlike my husband, who would, parentheses, despite 25 years of my telling him what I needed, he would, quote, get his and roll over and go to sleep. It's not just women being mean to their husband. For me, no sex is better than a hole to fill. So, La Travieta, I get it. No one's saying, women, you should endure substandard sex and just be basically what amounts to a masturbatory device for the man. I've created videos about that where men have told me, pretty point-blank terms, they don't like their wife anymore. They're not attracted to her. The things she does and says and the way she acts is a major turnoff. Yet he wants to have a better sex life with her. And I've said to those guys, that's not good, dude. You shouldn't want to have sexual intercourse with a person you don't like. And basically the men are like, yeah, but I have an urge. And I committed to her, and she's supposed to fill the urge. Not a good template for a healthy sex life, is it? And what you're saying is you're married to a pretty selfish dude. Dude, I want this. To better connect with you physically and mentally or emotionally, this is what I want. The man's like, don't care, wham, bam, thank you, ma'am, see you later. So, of course, you're like, I don't want to do them anymore. I guess my follow-up to that would be, what keeps you in the relationship? I understand logistically everybody has, reasons for staying in a relationship with finances, children, and all the overhead of, keeping the family machine cranking along. So I'm not going to judge you for that or harp on that point. But here's the point I'm making with some of these videos and tweets and so forth that I post. A lot of these men in these situations are caught in what we call like a catch-22 thing. So let's say the guy was in a relationship for, let's say, 10 years of substandard sex with the wife, on the wife's point of view, right? They had a couple of kids out of it, and the wife's finally like, I'm done with the substandard sex. And the guy that wouldn't know romance if it hit him upside the face, I'm done with this. Sex store closed. And she shuts it off, let's say, for like 5 years. They don't touch each other. Nothing. By the way, for those that are completely ignorant of this world, that is not unheard of. I've mentioned before in my posts on Facebook and so forth. So far, the record I've heard for a completely sexless, no-touch relationship was 20 plus years. Ouch. So anyway, tell that guy, hasn't touched his wife in, let's say, 5 years. Here's the thing. Even if we sent that guy to like a boot camp on how to be the best lover on the planet, he knows proper, let's say, technique in the bedroom. At least is how it, pertains to his wife. She likes things a certain way, and he gets a private coach to teach him how to do things in a certain way. And let's say, like, emotionally, mentally, he's more of a lover. He's more aggressive in a good way, yet he's more empathetic. He's more sweet. So he's got the combination of all of those things that women want. Women, yes, when it comes to the partner category, they in our minds, we men say, they tend to want it all, don't they? Yeah, they do. What does he then do? Come to wife and say, wife, here's my certificate of completion. I have completed the boot camp for, how to be a better lover. Now will you give me a chance? 5 years of zero anything between two people. Again, I've heard 20 plus years. Hell, let's just say 1 year of nothing. That's a lot of resentment built up there. It's a lot of unhealthy, dysfunctional stuff lurking under the surface. It's rarely just, you, hubby, were so bad at the sex thing years ago that I've shut it off. There's a lot of other stuff going on there underneath the surface. It's not just the old in and out and he's bad at it. It's in and out, he's bad at it. Resentment, lack of communication. He's this codependent mess, which is why he's hung around for years with this nonsense instead of saying, okay, obviously we're mismatched here and you're not giving me a chance, adios. No, he's, codependent. He's Mr. Hang On, Mr. Nice Guy type, and he tries everything. He comes to me, he sends me messages through this Dear DSO thing. And here's wife with her arms crossed. And, when she's painted into a corner and she has to explain what's going on, she says, he sucks at sex. That's why I don't want it. And so we're stuck in a vicious circle here. The old Mexican standoff. Somebody's got to give. Somebody's got to flinch. There's also something else at play here. And I just got a message on Facebook from a young lady who had a very similar situation where she was, or is rather, engaged to a gentleman. And they've been together for 8 years. So they're past the honeymoon phase. Just now, for whatever reason, getting into let's get married phase. And what she has noticed is, past the honeymoon phase, now hubby's romantic efforts are just done. She says, yes, we still have regular sex. I still give it to him, but I'm losing that attraction to him in that way because he just doesn't try anymore. The romance thing is just gone. He just expects the sex. And her statement was, Ralph, if I tell him exactly what I want, then he's just going to do it out of obligation because I told him to, as opposed to it being an artifact of his natural way of being. So in other words, she wants a natural romantic guy like what he used to be, and she wants that to come about organically. She doesn't want to have to tell him, this is what I want, this is what I need out of this relationship sexually. And I told her what I'm going to tell everybody. If you are sitting back and waiting for the feelings that you got in the honeymoon stage of the relationship, the early stage of the relationship, if you're waiting for that to kind of take over and hijack your system and your partner's system and bring you organically close together with the same level of passion that you had in the first 1, 2, 3, whatever years of your relationship, do not hold your breath. It's probably not going to happen. It will come in spurts. I often say like the blips on the radar, the little EKG machine saying, woohoo, the weekend away to Cancun, woohoo, ovulation, woohoo, husband got a pay raise. These things can bring about some spontaneous sexuality between the two of you, but more often than not, in a long-term monogamous relationship, you got to set aside your ego. You got to set aside that nonsense of, I want it to be natural and organic, damn it. And you have to communicate things. I like this, not this. Don't put your hand there. Instead, put it there. And this is the tough one for a lot of ladies. Guy, I want you to be a little bit more aggressive. I don't want you to joke and act like a baby or, whatever in the middle of doing the act. I want that to be a carnal, serious, lustful act. I want a man who throws me around a little bit, And women are like, I can't tell him that. He's got that fragile male ego. I'm basically saying you're kind of a wuss, be less of a wuss, and no man wants to hear that. Ladies, you may have a point. I know a lot of guys are pretty sensitive about that kind of thing, but they're also pretty sensitive about a wife who just shuts down sex completely, for a period of years and folds her arms and says, it's because you sucked at it. Because he's invariably going to come back and say, why didn't you tell me exactly what it is you want? Now, La Travieta here says, oh, I did. I've told him for years and years and he won't listen. That's because he's a dickhead. So, the old Occam's razor, sometimes the easiest solution is the correct one. You married an asshole. You say, I want this. He says, no care. And you found it sounds like, I don't know all the particulars here. There could be a lot more stuff going on that's not so nice between the two of you. But you found a solution in the form of an open relationship. And you're like, hot damn, the new guy's way better than the old guy. Let's be honest here. The new guy or gal is always better than the old one. Especially when the old one was a dipshit. New always trumps the old, safe, and familiar. Always. Mother Nature has put that programming in us called the Coolage effect. Look it up. Pretty interesting. I did a video on it a while back. You're in the new relationship phase, the honeymoon phase with new person. I know you're still primarily attached to dipshit, but now you have new guy, and the feel-good chemicals that are rushing through your body and brain right now are going to kind of paint over all the little blemishes that you just watch. If you stick it with new guy and dump dipshit, which I've seen happens quite a bit, new guy, suddenly in year 3 and 4, you're going to be like, oh, God, he's just like the other dude. He's dropped the honeymoon act thing. He's not as perceptive as he used to be. I have to guide him in doing things. God damn it, this sucks. It takes a level of maturity, setting the ego aside, being kind of technical about it, but in a way still having fun with it, still keeping it sexy, still keeping it, connected between the two of you. It's a pretty difficult dance to make happen. And not all of us have the skills to do that effectively. Not for, many decades in a row, that's for sure. So, La Travieta. It ain't so simple. He ain't so good in bed. Give him a chance. Tell him what you want. I did. He still won't do it. Well, he's an asshole. What can I tell you? They exist. Men and women alike is what it is. All right? Thanks for reaching out.